In just over 3 weeks, we head to Lyon, France for our first premium live event of the season, Backlash. But tonight, we make a pit stop in a sold-out Bridgestone Arena in Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, to decide who is making the trip to Backlash on April the 27th. It is triple threat treachery in your main event. The #1 contendership to the World Heavyweight title is on the line. The Harbinger of Doom, Karrion Kross, the phenomenal AJ Styles, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, who meets Ilja Dragunov on the 27th in Lyon, France. We find out right here tonight on SmackDown. And we are kicking things off with a little bit of action.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 242 pounds. Main event,
Jey Uso marching through the WWE Universe with purpose tonight. He is here in Smashville to settle a score. Jey Uso looking to start down new pastures after losing the United States Championship back at WrestleMania, only to run into the demons of his past in the Judgment Day in recent weeks. Finn Balor, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, and the newest member of the Judgment Day, JD McDonagh, have done their damnedest over the last 2 weeks to solidify their spot here on SmackDown. And target #1, a man Finn Balor knows very well, main event Jey Uso. And after the events of last week, Jey Uso looking to get inside of the ring with the Irish Ace JD McDonagh and put a stop to this Judgment Day madness before it can truly get going. One of the most popular superstars in WWE today, but the party about to come to a screeching halt. It's time to fight on Thursday night. And a former United States champion in Jey Uso gonna have his hands full with a former Cruiserweight champion in JD McDonagh.
and his opponent, representing the Judgment Day, from Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland, weighing in at 180 pounds, JD McDonagh.
Let us take you back to 2 weeks ago on SmackDown. Jey Uso in the midst of combat against the Prince Finn Balor. And just as it seemed as he was nearing victory, JD McDonagh making his way to ringside, taking Jey Uso's eye off the ball and allowing Finn Balor to score the victory. Well, last week here on SmackDown, Jey Uso stormed to the squared circle with purpose. He was calling out Finn Balor, wanted to settle the score with the Judgment Day last week, only to be met with an ambush from behind by his opponent tonight, the Irish Ace himself, JD McDonagh, who left Jey Uso laying with a steel chair and a disrespectful boot scrape right across the mutt. JD McDonagh joining the ranks of the Judgment Day, joining the group that wears the black and purple. JD McDonagh is certainly a man who's never been afraid to get the blood on his hands. It really just fits right in that Judgment Day clubhouse. Well, you reap what you sow. JD McDonagh's gotten involved in Jey Uso business the last 2 weeks. Jey Uso looking to settle the score here tonight on SmackDown with JD McDonagh, I'm sure, has marched to the ring tonight with deep instructions from the Prince Finn Balor to get rid of Jey Uso once and for all here tonight in Nashville. The history between Jey Uso, his brother Jimmy, and the Judgment Day runs deep all the way back to last year on Monday Night Raw. Started out as a battle over the World Tag Team Championships, eventually developed into a turf war of sorts on Monday nights, a battle of supremacy, if you will. Eventually, it all came down to Jey and Jimmy Uso taking on then Judgment Day representatives Finn Balor and Damian Priest in a championship versus their jobs on Monday Night Raw tables, ladders, and chairs match last September at No Mercy. Judgment Day was victorious on that night. The Usos were banished from Monday Night Raw, and it's what brought Jey Uso to SmackDown to begin with. Now Jey Uso, after really having a ride of his lifetime since the month of October here on SmackDown as the United States Champion, is met with those previous ghosts, the Judgment Day, coming together in new fashion here on SmackDown. Jey Uso is their first target. Jey Uso, we've heard out of his mouth the last couple of weeks, he is not looking to travel down these familiar paths over and over again. JD McDonagh off an incredible Spanish fly, catching Jey Uso that time, looking to ensure that Jey Uso isn't going to have to deal with the Judgment Day week in and week out like he did going back last spring and summer on Monday Night Raw. They're looking to rid themselves of main event Jey here tonight. Finn Balor scoring the victory over Jey 2 weeks ago. We saw what happened last week here on SmackDown with McDonagh wiping out Uso inside of that ring. Will the result be the same here tonight in the Music City of Nashville? A lot of Backlash implications riding on the line in tonight's main event. An opportunity at the World Championship in Ilja Dragunov on April the 27th, hanging in the balance. But this matchup right here, a little bit more personal than just championship affairs. You gotta give credit where credit's due. The former Cruiserweight champion and JD McDonagh giving Jey Uso a battle. Flipping Jey Uso right to that LED board at ringside. McDonagh holding his own, and it's a man who has been dubbed the main event. Jey Uso becoming one of the most popular superstars in WWE, had an incredible reign as the United States champion, fell short to LA Knight at WrestleMania. Just as Jey Uso was really throwing down the gauntlet to all the champions on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago, that is when the Judgment Day reared their ugly heads. JD McDonagh not giving Jey any room to breathe. JD McDonagh and Finn Balor go back many years. Finn Balor helped train JD McDonagh over in Ireland. Really helped get McDonagh's foot in the door in this industry and into the WWE. Now here they are again as a part of the Judgment Day here on SmackDown. McDonagh, devil inside to Jey Uso. And unfortunately for JD, Jey Uso is still alive. And there's McDonagh. Jey Uso might have kicked out, but JD continuing to be on the attack. Jey Uso struggling to find sustained momentum in this contest. JD bringing a newfound aggression here tonight on SmackDown. Suicide dive to the outside, shot out like a cannon. Jey Uso's got no answer. He's surviving, but he certainly isn't thriving at the given moment. McDonagh now going somewhere he's extremely comfortable, high above the ring. And a crossbody wipes Jey off his feet. And again, Jey Uso able to pop that shoulder off the canvas. McDonagh's got to be scratching his massive dome at the moment, wondering what the hell he's got to do to put Jey Uso away here tonight. Goes to show you how much Jey Uso wants to stick it to the Judgment Day once and for all. Big time neck breaker. Jey Uso finally seeing some daylight. It ain't over yet. Yeah, here in Nashville, behind main event Jey Uso, trying to rally here. Jey had a window of opportunity. He took it off that neck breaker, miscalculates that clothesline, may come back to bite him. McDonagh now sending him over the top rope. Jey able to break the grip. Creates a little distance himself. Main event Jey Uso's got to get going here. Around and around we go. Pinfall. McDonagh reverses the pressure. Jey now. Back to JD. Nobody gets the 3 count. Spear by Jey. McDonagh getting ran over, cut in half. Jey Uso off an emphatic spear survives this battle.
Here is your winner, main event,
Well, Jey Uso feeling the wounds of combat, a physical battle against the Irish Ace JD McDonagh. But on the other side of the bell, main event Jey Uso able to survive. Oh, wait a minute here. Well, I don't think the fight is done yet. Jey might have got through JD McDonagh, but here's Finn Balor out the WWE Universe, ambushing Jey Uso from behind. The Judgment Day will just not allow Jey Uso to rest. They got a vendetta against main event Jey Uso a mile long. Wait a minute here. Wait a minute! Jimmy Uso! We haven't seen Jimmy since last September. He must have wiped out Dirty Dom in the backstage area, and now he's making a beeline for Finn Balor. A member of the Judgment Day that has caused his family so much pain, so much punishment, and the reason Jimmy was on the shelf for months on end. Jimmy here on SmackDown, making a beeline for the Prince. Jey Uso, over the last few weeks, has been fighting a solo battle against the ever-growing numbers of the Black and Purple unit. Ooh. But for the first time since No Mercy last September, Jimmy Uso, Big Jim, is on the scene. And he has not forgotten, just as Jey has it, about the pain and the agony of yesteryear. Jimmy all over Finn Balor inside a SmackDown ring. Jey Uso victorious. Jimmy cleaning house. Jimmy Uso is back, and he's live in a SmackDown ring. Oh man. The Usos are here on SmackDown together. And this has got to be the last thing that the Judgment Day so desired. The numbers of the Judgment Day may be growing, but Jey's got an equalizer. Jimmy Uso's back. The Usos are on SmackDown. Can't get enough Universe mode? Well, now is your chance to secure a backstage pass to more Universe than ever before. Become a Noah Nation Gaming channel member and gain entry to exclusive kickoff shows before each and every premium live event. Also, witness bi-monthly house shows that directly affect your episodic viewing of Universe mode. Also, take a peek behind the curtain and see how Universe mode is brought to life each and every week. Hit the join button down below, become a Backstage Pass Noah Nation Gaming channel member, and get your front row seat to more Universe than ever before. Well, what a moment moments ago here on SmackDown, but ladies and gentlemen, it's a better time than any to become a Noah Nation Gaming channel member, because coming up in 48 hours, we're heading to Baton Rouge, Louisiana for the channel member exclusive Spring Stampede event. Hit that join button down below, become a Noah Nation Gaming channel member, and punch your ticket to Spring Stampede live this Saturday. This woman, Liv Morgan, signed to be in the house this Saturday at Spring Stampede. But tonight on SmackDown, she's got her hands full with an old rival, the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. It was just a few weeks ago that Liv Morgan ambushed one of Asuka's tag team partners, the Women's World Champion Io Sky. Morgan making a statement. Now she runs into another member of the Kabuki Warriors.
Japan.
Liv Morgan, of course, drafted over from Monday Night Raw over here to SmackDown just a couple of weeks ago, and obviously is eyeing up a Women's World Championship opportunity. But wait a minute! Oh, I hear Piper Niven. The hell's she doing out here, ambushing Asuka in the aisleway? Now this beatdown going to continue at ringside. And Liv Morgan's out of here. Liv Morgan's left the ringside area, threw them into the WWE Universe. All the while, Piper Niven, for one reason or another, is ambushing Asuka here in Nashville. The hell's Piper got to do with Asuka right now? Piper Niven, another superstar who was drafted over here from Monday Night Raw, right here to Thursday Night SmackDown alongside our tag team partner Chelsea Green, but it looks as if Piper Niven is taking care of business by herself tonight. And for what reason? Piper Niven, senton after senton, now on the apron. Asuka in the drop zone. Piper Niven just squashing Asuka at ringside like a bug. The hell's this about? I get trying to make an impact, but I don't know if this is the way to do it. Asuka trying to get to her feet, but she's better off just staying down because Piper is continuing this beatdown. The Empress of Tomorrow thought she was walking into a battle with Liv Morgan. Instead, she gets ambushed, blindsided by Piper Niven, who has left her laying here tonight. Well, Asuka obviously going to be in no condition to compete, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, we are going to move on here on SmackDown. I want to take you back to 2 weeks ago. The WWE Tag Team Champions Fraxium, another blindside, another ambush by Mark Coffey and Wolfgang of Gallus. Those moments after a victory as Fraxium took down Pretty Deadly right here in a SmackDown ring. Cameras then cut to the backstage area where another member of Gallus, Joe Coffey, had ambushed the megastar, the United States Champion himself, LA Knight. Gallus, of course, drafted from NXT over here at SmackDown just a couple of weeks ago, and they have already made an impact. Clearly targeting the WWE Tag Team Champions in Fraxium. As you see, Joe Coffey did not hold any punches in this assault to LA Knight. But Joe Coffey continued to make an impact. We take you back to last week. LA Knight retaining the United States Championship over Austin Theory. Celebration cut short as once again Joe Coffey arrived on the scene and reminded LA Knight that he's got a target on his back. Joe Coffey, a man all the way from Scotland, could be targeting the red, white, blue, and gold. But now it's time for Gallus to get inside of the ring for a little bit of action. And victory is not going to come without a fight. Because standing across from Gallus, the Latino World Order.
The following contest is a six-man tag team match. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 540 pounds, Rey Mysterio, Joaquin Wilde, and Cruz del Toro, the NWO.
We want to remind you that coming up on Sunday night, April the 27th, we will be live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the first premium live event of the season, that being Backlash from the LDLC Arena in Lyon, France. Another opportunity for channel members to get involved. Of course, the Backlash kickoff show will be live 30 minutes prior. Once again, hit that join button down below. Become a No Nation Gaming channel member. Punch your ticket to Spring Stampede on Saturday and the Backlash kickoff show on April 27th. But the LWO set for a six-man tag team matchup as Gallus makes their in-ring SmackDown debut.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 741 pounds, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang Gallus.
All three of these individuals getting their start in the WWE over in the NXT UK brand. Won championships over there. Joe Coffey main evented takeovers in NXT UK. At one point in time with the ring general Gunther. Eventually made their way to NXT proper here in the States. Another force to be reckoned with. We've even seen Gallus over the last couple of months. Joe Coffey took on Bronson Reed back in December on the Slammy Award kickoff show for the Intercontinental Championship. Mark Coffey and Wolfgang had a run-in with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn back in February at the Road to WrestleMania live event as well. Now an opportunity for Gallus to make their name here on Thursday Night SmackDown. As we mentioned, it is not going to come without a fight. Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, one of the premier teams here on SmackDown. Rey Mysterio, the Hall of Famer, a resume that speaks for himself. Six-man tag team bout. Gallus' SmackDown in-ring debut. Rey Mysterio back in action for the first time since WrestleMania and clearly has got rockets strapped to his feet tonight and all. Well, there you see, if their actions over the last few weeks didn't tell the tale of Gallus, little cheap shot by Mark Coffey that time, allowing Joe Coffey, his brother, to take advantage. Gallus, as we mentioned, forced to be reckoned with at NXT, won championships across those brands, but here on SmackDown, a completely different landscape. They've got the attention of Fraxium, of LA Knight, and now tonight the LWO. It's what they do with that intention that is going to make or break their stars, we should say, here on Thursday nights. Rey Mysterio and the LWO not going to make it easy for him, but Gallus! Tell you what, one thing they got over the LWO is some size and strength in this matchup. Mysterio, Wilde, and Cruz gonna have to rely on that cruiserweight, high-flying offense if they even get a chance. A couple of cheap shots, sending Cruz and Wilde off the apron, and Wolfgang ragdoll and Mysterio back inside the squared circle. There's another cheap shot by Mark Coffey. And Gallus really showing their cards here. Showing that they're willing to do anything it takes to get victory. Climb the ranks here on SmackDown. It's certainly been an exciting night already here in the Music City. Jey Uso returned to a WWE ring for the first time since September, arriving here on SmackDown to aid his brother Jey in an outnumbrance against the Judgment Day at the top of the hour. I'm still questioning what we saw moments ago. A couple of Scottish talents in Gallus to another Scottish talent in Piper Niven, ambushing Asuka in the aisleway, calling off that matchup between Asuka and Liv Morgan for one reason or another. Hopefully we get some reasoning out of Piper Niven soon enough as to why she assaulted Asuka. There's a little tag team action as Wolfgang gets tagged in. Mysterio's got something for him, however. The six-man tag team matchup going to progress here on SmackDown. Still so much more action to come. Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior himself, back inside the ring against the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne, plus that triple threat main event to determine Ilja Dragunov's World Heavyweight Championship opponent at Backlash. Look at Mysterio using his quick maneuvers, trying to outlast Wolfgang here, and right now it's working out for him. Mysterio getting a feel for each member of Gallus. Might be time for a tag to see what Wilde and Cruz del Toro could bring to the table. Never want to knock or question what Rey Mysterio brings to the table. Wolfgang off the double leg, taking Mysterio down. Now Rey Mysterio, there you go, tag made. Let's get some fresh legs in here for the LWO. Joaquin Wilde to give Wolfgang hell, poison rana, my goodness. Joaquin Wilde bringing the lightning, bringing the fire to the Music City. Off that poison rana, dropping Wolfgang running his crown. Now Wolfgang looking up at the lights of this sold-out Bridgestone Arena. Wild frog splash! A maneuver from the originator of the LWO, the late great Eddie Guerrero. Joaquin Wilde all over Wolfgang since the tag was made. A little bit of distance created that time by the opposer. Now let's know that the pressure's on tonight. They've made some waves the last few weeks, but they got to get it done where it counts. They cannot allow the LWO to take their momentum, light it ablaze, and send it up in smoke. Double team action that time as Joe Coffey gets tagged in. Joe Coffey, you can see it in his physique. Very powerful, strong-suited. Certainly the opposite of what Joaquin Wilde brings to the table in the speed and agility. Hard hitting are those Gallus boys. Another tag made to Mark Coffey. Mark Coffey and Wolfgang obviously eyeing up an opportunity at Axiom and Nathan Frazier's WWE Tag Team title. And it's certainly not going to come if they cannot get the victory here tonight. Oh, there's Mark Coffey, another cheap shot. Start a lot of them in this matchup. All over Rey Mysterio, so much to the point where he doesn't even notice that the tag was made. Here's Cruz del Toro, new legal competitor. Around and around we go. Mark Coffey's lunch is going to resurface. Chad Patton right there, only calling for the 1 count. Cruz del Toro with a moonsault, takes Mark off his feet. Make it a deuce, this time on the grounded competitor. And another kick out that time. Cruz del Toro doing what the LWO does best, pushing the pace, lighting this crowd ablaze. Going for the shooting star press, but obviously Mark Coffey and the rest of Gallus, veterans of the squared circle, they did their homework before arriving to Nashville tonight. There's a tag made to Joe Coffey again, who comes in a house of fire off the Luthez. Can't say Gallus isn't working like a well-oiled machine, that is for sure. Drafted from NXT to SmackDown, and they're looking to make the most of the opportunity. Just when you think Cruz del Toro is going to put the LWO in the driver's seat, Joe Coffey absolutely writing a different story. I am sure the megastar LA Knight, who's been keeping up a busy schedule as the United States champion the last few weeks, has got his eyes on this contest, scouting the man who has left him laying 2 weeks in a row here on SmackDown. First in the backstage area, then in this very squared circle last week. Cruz del Toro, absolutely no answer at the given moment. Needs to create some distance, and there he does. Joe Coffey may be in trouble. Oh, wait a minute. Inside cradle this time. Like him or not, that's a hell of a reversal there. But there's Del Toro, ever agile. Gonna get this one. Maybe not. Another pinfall. Both of these individuals bringing their A game to the country music capital of the world. Pop up. Head scissors take down. Another tag made to Joaquin Wilde. Fresh legs from Latino World Order. Joe Coffey wanted the body splash. A little step back and nobody be home. Have Gallus showed their best hands in this contest. Joaquin Wilde looking to show that it's the LWO's time to thrive. A little bit of miscalculation on that submission hold that time. Effective to get Coffey off his feet for a moment nonetheless, and now grapples Joaquin Wilde down. There's that power that we talked about, some brute strength lies within Gallus. And wait a minute, here you see Wolfgang in the background there, trying to go after Cruz del Toro. More Coffey going after Rey Mysterio outside your screen as well. At least he was for a moment. Now Joe Coffey's heading to the top rope. Body splash of his own on Joaquin Wilde. Things breaking down momentarily at ringside. All the while, Joaquin Wilde and Joe Coffey still your legal competitors in this 6-man tag team bout right here on Thursday Night SmackDown. Joe Coffey, eyes locked, discus lariat, clean and Wilde's clocked. Into the cover. This one's over. Gallus scores the victory in their in-ring debut.
Here are your winners, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang Gallus.
The Latino World Order putting up a fight, but Gallus showing that they are here to stay. They got their eyes on championship gold, and they may have just put themselves in contention for it. Well, from one Scottish talent to another, coming up next, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, the former World Heavyweight Champion, is back here on SmackDown, and he's entangling the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. It's live next from right here in Nashville. WrestleMania has come and gone, but the aftershock is only beginning. The fallout from the biggest stage has sent shockwaves through the WWE. And now, the first battleground of the new season awaits at Backlash. Live from the LDLC Arena in Lyon, France, championships will be defended, rivalries reignited, and scores settled in an unforgiving fashion. The future is now, and the future is coming to France. Who will rise? Who will fall? And who will seize their moment in the chaos? The road beyond WrestleMania kickstarts here at WWE Backlash. We want to take you back to a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown. Trick Williams on the verge of possibly becoming the United States champion. In the midst of a matchup with LA Knight, he was ambushed by his rival, his former best friend, Carmelo Hayes, the man he defeated last month at WrestleMania. Obviously, Carmelo Hayes was not going to sit idly by and allow Trick Williams to win a championship that Melo once held. An ambush just a couple of weeks back. And 1 week later, Carmelo Hayes alongside Austin Theory picking up a huge victory over Trick Williams and LA Knight in tag team action. Well, Trick Williams thought he put this situation behind him back at WrestleMania, and it is clear that business is far from done. Trick took to X earlier this week and had this to say: "Melo, I thought I cut my ties with you at WrestleMania, but clearly I was wrong. So why don't we finish this at Backlash? You and I fight again, but this time with no holds barred. Be a man, accept my challenge, and let's end this in France." Trick Williams throwing down the gauntlet. Will Carmelo Hayes accept the challenge? We move on from that situation to another rematch as the Bruiserweight approaches the ring.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing New Catch Republic from Birmingham, England, weighing in at 205 pounds, the Bruiserweight, Pete Dunne.
Well, it's back on the final SmackDown before WrestleMania that Pete Dunne took on then World Heavyweight Champion Drew McIntyre. Physical battle it was that night in the main event. Pete Dunne giving Drew McIntyre one bloody fight. In the end, McIntyre was victorious, but Pete Dunne looking for another round against the former champion himself. And oh, wait a minute here, McIntyre from the WWE Universe off the steps, assaulting Pete Dunne before the bell can sound. Well, you gotta imagine McIntyre was gonna be extra aggressive tonight, losing the World Heavyweight Championship last month at WrestleMania, losing his rematch a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown. McIntyre fed up with what has happened as of late, his spot at the top, and knocked off of it. The bell has sounded. We are underway with this rematch, Drew McIntyre versus Pete Dunne. McIntyre, however, kicking off this contest on his own accord. This is not what Pete Dunne expected when he arrived to Smashville for Thursday Night SmackDown. But if it's a fight Pete Dunne wants, it's a fight that Drew McIntyre is going to give him. McIntyre hell-bent on getting back a huge victory tonight and moving one step closer to becoming World Heavyweight Champion again. Pete Dunne standing in his way, and McIntyre looking to make a statement. McIntyre just better not take Pete Dunne lightly. We saw the Bruiserweight give the Scottish Warrior one hell of a fight last month in Philadelphia. Now here tonight they meet in Nashville. Drew McIntyre knows what Pete Dunne is capable of. Will Pete Dunne be able to outlast the fire of the Scottish Warrior here tonight? Dunne able to put on the brakes. Couple of closed fists, gets the separation he so needs. And now the Bruiserweight gonna start to unload. McIntyre wants a brawl. Dunne's gonna give it to him. Into the corner we go. Pete Dunne with agility on his side. Monkey flip sends McIntyre dead center of the ring. These two men have met before. They know each other's styles. Pete Dunne knows he's going to have to bring his best if he wants to keep down one of the most destructive superstars that SmackDown has ever seen. McIntyre rolled to the outside, but ain't nowhere to run as there's a suicide dive by the Bruiserweight. Pete Dunne, a former two-time Intercontinental Champion, former World Tag Team Champion on Raw, former NXT United Kingdom Champion as well. Pete Dunne now looking to find some success on SmackDown, and it could come with a huge upset over McIntyre off the pump kick. And McIntyre able to get the shoulder off. McIntyre did not wait for an entrance, did not wait for an introduction. Made his way out through the WWE Universe and assaulted Pete Dunne while he was making his way down the aisle. Pete Dunne saying, if that's the kind of fight you want to have, I'm going to give it to you. No mercy and no remorse being shown between these two heavy hitters. McIntyre may regret the day he lit the fire under the bruiserweight. Couple of vicious forearms to the back of the neck. Now, over the last year or so, we have seen the most destructive version of Drew McIntyre that we have ever seen. It led him to winning the World Heavyweight Championship this past January at the Royal Rumble. McIntyre losing the gold in the main event of WrestleMania to Ilja Dragunov, as well as Cody Rhodes was in that contest, the triple threat bout. First SmackDown after WrestleMania, Ilja Dragunov once again defeating Drew McIntyre inside the steel cage to retain the World Heavyweight title. We're going to find out in moments who's next up for the Mad Dragon. But as for Drew McIntyre, back of the line, work your way up to the top if you want to tangle for the world title again. That is what McIntyre looks to do here as he looks to start to get back in control over Pete Dunne. McIntyre goes without saying, size and strength on his side as he ragdolls Pete Dunne over the top rope. Taking this fight to the outside just to add a little bit more salt into the wounds. Drew McIntyre's got no problem using Pete Dunne as a stepping stone on this Thursday night in Nashville. The way he just sends Pete Dunne out of the ring, then ragdolls him back into it. And now a German suplex sends Pete Dunne halfway across the squared circle. McIntyre certainly proud of his efforts. Pete Dunne looking wobbly. All the while, Drew McIntyre's just picking his spots, enjoying this beatdown, trying to make a statement off the behalf of the bruiserweight. Drew McIntyre coming to SmackDown tonight with a point to prove, and he is all over Pete Dunne. Dunne's got no breathing room right now. Oh my goodness. There is nothing fancy about the offense that McIntyre is bringing to the table. It is just effective here tonight. Pete Dunne goes without saying, tough as nails. Just got clobbered with that Glasgow kiss as he was trying to get to his feet. McIntyre's not even going for the cover just yet. Playing with his food. This is a Scottish warrior. Oh my goodness, now ragdolls again, Pete Dunne right into the buckles. Pete Dunne just collapsing off the collision. Over the top rope with the clothesline. And we just said a few minutes ago that we have seen the most destructive version of Drew McIntyre over the last year or so here on SmackDown, all en route to him winning the World Heavyweight title. McIntyre digging down deep and bringing out that side again. Belly to belly suplex. Pete Dunne's luckily wasn't impaled on those steel steps. This matchup may as well have been over already, but Drew McIntyre hell-bent on making a statement on this Thursday night. Into the barrier. Pete Dunne again back inside the ring. Had plenty of signs of life in this matchup, but I think the prowess of Drew McIntyre has just completely taken over. Drew now into the corner. Claymore kick to the bruiserweight. And that's gonna do it. Got the jump on Pete Dunne. Dunne was fighting an uphill battle ever since.
Here is your winner, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
Well, Drew McIntyre certainly proud of... Oh, wait a minute here. Oh, Drew's not done. Drew gonna continue to beat down Pete Dunne at ringside. Drew McIntyre hell-bent on making a statement that he will be World Heavyweight Champion again. You gotta believe that's what McIntyre has got going on inside of his mind as he continues to assault the man he just defeated. Jumped him before the bell, allowed Pete Dunne to fight an uphill battle the entire time, played with his food half this matchup, and now rubs a little insult to injury. Well, nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, let's try to move on here and also get some attention out here for the bruiserweight Pete Dunne. We take you back to last week, Naomi's in-ring return. here on SmackDown, and what a showcase of her talents it was, pushed to her limits by Zoe Stark, but in the end, Naomi able to score the victory. After the contest, the Women's United States Champion Kairi Sane returning the favor to Naomi's interruption a couple of weeks ago. Face to face were these two women with one common goal in mind, and next Thursday night, live from New Orleans on SmackDown, Naomi's gonna have her opportunity at the Sky Pirate Kairi Sane. They've stood eye to eye several weeks in a row. Now they meet for the Women's United States Championship. And speaking of United States gold, we also take you back to last week where Austin Theory, well, he kind of dissed Elita Low Andrade. Andrade trying to throw out a challenge. Theory really undermining the talents of Andrade. And later that night, Andrade would get a little bit of retribution, taking Theory's eye off the ball, allowing LA Knight the opportunity for a blood force trauma to retain his U.S. title. Well, Austin Theory ticked off, and so is Andrade, and next week these two men are going to go one-on-one. Theory might have brushed off Andrade last week, but now he's got something to prove. Andrade, one-on-one with Austin Theory, live next Thursday night in New Orleans. But it is main event time from Nashville. Who's going to Backlash? Who will challenge for the World Heavyweight title? A main event interrupted last Thursday night. Add Karrion Kross to the picture. It's triple threat treachery here on SmackDown.
The following contest is a triple threat match. Making his way to the ring from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 218 pounds, the phenomenal
AJ Styles cut his teeth right here in Nashville, and this could be the city where he earns #1 contendership. A triple threat main event live up next on SmackDown. Can't get enough Universe mode? Well, now is your chance to secure a backstage pass to more Universe than ever before. Become a Noah Nation Gaming channel member and gain entry to exclusive kickoff shows before each and every premium live event. Also, witness bi-monthly house shows that directly affect your episodic viewing of Universe mode. Also, take a peek behind the curtain and see how Universe mode is brought to life each and every week. Hit the join button down below, become a Backstage Pass Noah Nation Gaming channel member, and get your front row seat to more Universe than ever before. And do not forget that coming up this Saturday night for Noah Nation Gaming channel members, it is Spring Stampede. World Heavyweight Champion Ilja Dragunov going to be going one-on-one with the Cruiserweight Champion Dirty Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, Intercontinental Champion Solo Sikoa from Raw, and so many more talents signed for Spring Stampede in Baton Rouge, Louisiana this Saturday night for Noah Nation Gaming channel members. But we are back on Thursday Night SmackDown from Nashville, Tennessee. The Harbinger of Doom, Karrion Kross, who interrupted last week's main event, has inserted himself into the #1 contenders picture. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, just a few weeks ago told the World Heavyweight Champion Ilja Dragunov that he was not asking for a shot, he was gonna earn it. Tonight could be Cody's path back to the big gold belt. Went one-on-one with AJ Styles last week, seemed to be on the verge of victory until Karrion Kross arrived on the scene. Now it's a triple threat main event of the highest proportion. Who's going to Lyon, France? Who's going to Backlash?
From Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, former World Heavyweight Champion himself,
defeated Gunther last year at SummerSlam, hot off the heels of winning the King of the Ring tournament to win it all. As voted by you, the fans, the 2024 Men's Superstar of the Year. But seemingly 2025 has been a year of more and more roadblocks stacking up for the American Nightmare. Losing the World Championship back at the Royal Rumble, falling short in the main event of WrestleMania, is tonight where Cody finally gets back on track and starts down the road to being a champion again. Well, it all remains to be seen. It's not going to be an easy task no matter which way you spin it. AJ Styles, Karrion Kross, Cody Rhodes, triple threat matchup. No countouts, no disqualifications, one fall to a finish. Who's going to Lyon, France? You see AJ Styles immediately targeting Karrion Kross. There is absolutely no love lost between those two superstars. Karrion Kross targeted AJ Styles a couple of months ago on Monday Night Raw, defeated AJ Styles. Dare I say, one of the biggest wins of Karrion Kross's career last month at WrestleMania. Especially after what we saw last week, that ever-looming issue from Monday Night Raw following AJ Styles over here to SmackDown. Now AJ and Kross, two mainstays of Monday Nights, find their home on the blue brand, and now they entangle the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, all three men with the same common goal of challenging Ilja Dragunov. Karrion Kross has proven he can keep down AJ Styles, but can he keep down Cody Rhodes as well? Of course, knocked both of these men off their feet last week. They interrupted that matchup live from Cody's hometown of Atlanta. Now Cody and AJ gonna clash again. Karrion Kross stuck between them. Cody Rhodes trying to rule the ring here in Nashville. Cody Rhodes, former World Heavyweight Champion, has defeated Ilja Dragunov not once but twice in the past, prior to Ilja Dragunov's World Championship run kicking off. Karrion Kross, somebody who was challenged for championship gold here on the main roster, whether it's been on SmackDown or Raw, has never been able to obtain it. Really something that was following Karrion Kross into WrestleMania is finally be able to have his actions meet his words, and I think after the victory over AJ Styles, a lot of people looking at Karrion Kross as somebody who could be on the verge of breaking out and taking that next step here on SmackDown. Or maybe it's going to be AJ Styles who finds himself as the #1 contender. Pinfall after pinfall here. Karrion Kross now looking to defeat AJ. AJ now reversing the pressure, and Cody saying, hey, I'm standing right here. Cody, Crossroads! Cody Rhodes has got no wasted motion tonight, picking up right where he left off last Thursday night against AJ Styles. I think Cody probably realized he wasn't going to get the victory right there, but at least can neutralize Styles for a moment and let that fatigue set in a hell of a lot earlier. We know that's going to be a thing. In triple threat matches, so hard to get sustained momentum, impossible, damn near to catch your breath. And of course, the no count out, no disqualification stipulation. Somebody brought that microphone inside of the ring as Cody Rhodes just levels Kross with a drop kick. AJ Styles now back inside the ring. Cody Rhodes doing all he can to secure #1 contendership in this triple threat matchup. AJ Styles will be going second burning hammer of the matchup, this time on the American Nightmare. But he turns right around to the waiting arms of the Harbinger of Doom. Karrion Kross wipes out AJ Styles. Might have had an opportunity for a pinfall there had Cody Rhodes not resurfaced. AJ Styles struggling to get going in this triple threat matchup. Styles, a man who knows triple threats very well. He won the WWE Championship last year in this very style of contest. Maybe tonight he finds similar success. Cody superplexed across. AJ Styles there to pick the bones. Springboard, moonsault. Pinfall. Referee Adrian Butler on the call this time, but it's only a 1 count. Karrion Kross now trying to institute a steel chair to this matchup. We've seen things get physical, get a little bit violent between Styles and Kross in recent months on Raw. They have continued that story over here on SmackDown. Bad blood between those two men, to say the very least. AJ now wiping out Karrion Kross. I'm sure, especially after last week, AJ already had a bone to pick with Kross after WrestleMania, but Kross leaving both Styles and Cody laying. Last week in Atlanta, AJ's here to get his pound of flesh and become #1 contender along the way. Cody out of the picture, Styles into the cover. Karrion Kross survives. Only one of these men, wait a minute, hold that thought, Cody Rhodes, schoolboy. Not over yet. Only one of these men can meet the Mad Dragon, the Tsar, Ilja Dragunov. At Backlash, Styles clash to Cody Rhodes. And you gotta believe this one may have been over if it had not been for the Harbinger of Doom, Karrion Kross. Takes AJ Styles out of the equation, at least for the moment. Now gonna attack Cody just a little bit more. Styles back into the ring. Throwing fisticuffs with Karrion Kross, somebody he is oh so familiar with. And now goes for the pinfall on Cody Rhodes. Will that do it? Cody able. Pop that shoulder off the canvas. Had Styles been able to go right into the cover off the Styles clash, you gotta believe this one would have been over. Cody Rhodes now trying to find an equalizer. Styles says nuh-uh, stacking his opponents in the corner. AJ takes out both Cody and Kross, using their own flesh and bones as weapons. Kross now, fireman's carry position, dropped on the knee. We said it before, we'll say it again. Styles cut his teeth in this industry right here in Nashville. It could be where he becomes #1 contender. Wipes out both men. Neckbreaker to Kross. Not just yet. What an exhilarating triple threat matchup. Now Cody, pedigree to the Phenomenal One. And Karrion Kross not allowing a 3 count to be made. Cody picking his spots, but unfortunately Karrion Kross was still lingering in the distance. Competition at its highest form, live in your main event from Bridgestone Arena on Thursday Night SmackDown. Oh, look at Styles. Styles taking out Kross over the top rope. And Cody gonna meet both of these individuals out there. Unloading with the closed fist. Cody Rhodes with the bionic elbow. Rhodes the only man standing, well at least he was for a moment. There's Karrion Kross trying to go for the double leg. Cody says otherwise. Controlled chaos as AJ Styles now wipes out Karrion Kross. Kross looking worse for wear. Back inside the ring. Cody catches AJ Styles with a second crossroads. Cody is going to Backlash.
Here is your winner, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
One hell of a triple threat main event where anything could happen, and everything did. Karrion Kross, AJ Styles, unfortunately falling short at the finish line. Cody breaks the ribbon first, and now, oh man, now the American Nightmare meets this man, the Mad Dragon, the Tsar, the World Heavyweight Champion, Ilja Dragunov. And the interesting situation here is that these two men have met twice before in singles encounters. Cody has won them both. Dare I say, the odds may be stacked against the champion come Sunday night, April the 27th in Lyon, France, when the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes meets the Mad Dragon Ilja Dragunov for the World Heavyweight Championship at Backlash.